Awesome. So you've created some like crazy video content or found something that you thought would be great in your classroom, only to put it out there for the kids and they don't get what you wanted them to get. Well, Edpuzzle to the rescue. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your very first Edpuzzle. I'm going to walk you right through the process. And when you're done, you're going to be a rock star and ready to teach remotely. Let's get to the video. All right, so first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to sign up for Edpuzzle. If you have not, pretty straightforward. You're just going to click sign up. In the sign up window, when you click on that, you just say I'm a teacher, and then you can sign up with your Google account. Okay, so I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. I'm a teacher, hit my Google account. And once you get logged in, what's going to happen is you're going to see on the left-hand side a bunch of content. So there's the home. If I click that, it takes me to the home of Edpuzzle, and because I'm a science teacher, it shows things that are trending, what other teachers find really interesting. So I can use those. I can drop down to curriculum. So Edpuzzle has a built-in curriculum for elementary, middle school, and high school. You can check those out. You can look at anything that's in your school domain, and then my content if you've already created anything. This is where everything is going to live after you've created your videos. Now down at the bottom, there are also some popular channels where you can pull things from. So maybe you're pulling another lesson in from Edpuzzle that you got from a colleague or from myself. That would probably be right here, YouTube, Khan Academy, and so on. So once you get in, that's the first thing you're going to notice. Number two is you have a grade book and some classes to set up if you haven't done that yet. It will link up with Google Classroom. That's going to be another video. But the first thing I want to show you is what you need to do to get some new content in here. So I'm going to click on My Content, and then I'm going to click Add Content, and I'm going to click Create Video. Now, first, it's going to be like, okay, where do you want to pull this video from? Now, I know that my video is on YouTube, and I'm going to click See More down here at the bottom. When I do that, I'm going to type in the title of the video I'm looking for, which is Introduction to Habitat and Niche. Okay, and you can see that my video pops up here. This is one I did a really long time ago with a facial animation software called Crazy Talk. I'll put a link to it if you're interested. It's really fun. But anyway, in this video, basically what I'm looking to do is as I play through the video, which is right here, right now there's nothing, it's just a video. So I can import this YouTube video, or if your school blocks YouTube and the kids cannot get to it, they will be blocked on Edpuzzle. So what you're going to need to do when you hit create content is upload your own unique created content. Or down here in the lower right, and I could assign this as is and go live and just make sure that my kids were all on screen together at the same time. Or I can edit it. So as I click edit, the first thing it's going to ask me to do is to cut the video, which is, do you want to use the whole thing? In my case, I do. Do I want to provide a voiceover? I do not. And do I want to insert some questions? That's the guy I'm looking for. So I'm going to click questions. Hey guys, this is Brian from Ball Guy Sci, and on this channel, we are doing videos to inspire curious scientists, to support and encourage developing educators, and to challenge influential human beings. So if you're getting value from this channel, go ahead and smash that like button, comment and share. And we just hope that every single one of these is really being a blessing to you. So with that said, go ahead and click that bell icon so you're notified every time we put something out. And let's go ahead and jump back in the video. Some questions. That's the guy I'm looking for. So I'm going to click questions. And there are three basic kinds. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is click this note one. Now, this particular case, there's nothing for the students to do, but if I had a Google Doc that I wanted to follow, that have them follow along and submit at the end, and just by taking their own notes maybe, then I could put a link to that right here, or any instructions that I want them to follow. And since it's right at the beginning of the video, it's going to stop the video before it even really gets started and give them some instructions. So I might just quick type some instructions in here. And then I'm going to hit save. Now I also have this opportunity up here to insert maybe a graphic or a link. And if you're a math teacher, you can put some formulas in there as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. So now that that's in there, you'll see that little bubble right there. and I'm going to play the video. I'll spare you that.
That is wooded and gothic.
So now I'm looking for
red wolves like that. That's the habitat.
Okay, so now I'm going to click a multiple choice question. I want the kids to maybe think about what they want to put in here. So multiple choice, I might say now, because that's a vocab word, I'm going to make it bold and italicize it. That's no big deal. So the check mark here is telling me this is the correct answer. So habitat is this. It's a place. Oops. Place that meets an organism's needs for food, shelter, and reproduction. Now, depending on your grade level, these things would change. So I'm going to want to go down and say, okay, so the wrong one is a way of life. Or I'm going to add another one in here that habitat is just a place where an animal lives. And the distinction I might want to make here is that an animal can live in a zoo, but that's not a suitable habitat. It doesn't have everything it needs. So cool. So let's just say that's all I'm looking for. I hit save, and then that one pops up here. So, and the video is going to restart, and it's going to take me down the line. So I might go a little bit further.
Things I eat,
it talks about
mammals, like things called nutria, these little things on the ground in the swamps, and eat swamp rabbits. Those are rabbits in the swamp too, and
okay. So right here. Just talking about being a carnivore, so I might type in an open-ended question, and I might say, provide evidence to support the claim that red wolves are carnivores. And then since carnivore is, we'll do that as well. And I'll save that and we'll move on. So later on in the video, I'm going to go ahead and click finish. And you can see all my little bubbles down here. And I can assign this in my Google Classroom. I can go back and edit it at any time, or I can duplicate it. And here's why that might be really, really awesome for you. So if you know that in your classroom you have all different levels of kids, if you duplicate the assignment, you can change these questions to tailor them for specific groups of students. So your really bright kids, maybe you want to push the higher order thinking skills, and maybe your lower kids, maybe you don't, or maybe you have some English language learners, and so you pull in a consultant and you have them help you maybe translate it into whatever language it is, or find ways to challenge them that are not necessarily just the content, right? Okay, so whatever you need to do, you can do right here. And then because it's finished, if I now go back and I click on content and I click on my content, then right there, you can see I've gone through this a couple times, that there is the video I just created. And I can always hit the checkbox and assign it, move it, duplicate it, delete it, whatever I need to do. Okay, so that is Edpuzzle. And if you're looking for more tips and tricks on Edpuzzle or other EdTech teaching tools, I did a video series on remote teaching tools. Edpuzzle is one of the centerpieces of that. It may be how you got to this particular video, but if it's not, go check that out. I'm going to highlight a couple other really cool EdTech teaching tools that can help you up your game in 2020 and beyond. So I hope this was helpful. See ya.